Service is the rent you pay for your life on earth. And so I believe that you give back, especially and particularly if you've been blessed and fortunate, and I have been.
Linda is very much a committed individual. She's a person who values relationships, she's committed, and she will follow through on anything that she does.
She is a loving person, and she always leaves a personal touch of her on every relationship and every project.
She finds causes that she really believes in, and then she demands that that organization or that cause follow her commitment to diversity and her commitment to inclusion.
She is really an institution. She is the example of how corporations can be engaged with community issues.
Service and philanthropy have always been a very important part of my life. I believe that's because, number one, I saw that mirrored in my parents. They were both individuals who believed in helping out where they could. I grew up in a small town in northeast Ohio called Painesville, Ohio. So you might imagine, small town, you kind of know everyone. And as a result, you also know and have a sense of when people are in need. That sense of what it takes to create, sustain, and strengthen a community always stays with me.
There are lots of folks who really probably don't even know that Linda is helping them, but she is doing it silently, doesn't ask for any accolades.
I'm very passionate about organizations and causes that support families and women and children. I'm involved in several organizations who really do support my passions and interests. So for example, the Michigan Women's Foundation. They exist for one reason, and that one reason is to improve the lives of girls and women.
Linda was always an enthusiastic member of the organization, always was on the board of the Michigan Women's Foundation, always was a champion for women's rights and for diversity and for inclusion. In the late 1990s, the early 2000s, the organization was really floundering. Linda is tenacious, and she knew that women did not have an equal playing field in business, in finance, in pay equity. She knew that there was still much work to be done. And so Linda poked and prodded and urged on the organization and even took the leadership role. Linda would not let us do anything but succeed beyond our wildest dreams.
Other organizations that I work with that I think are so important and so foundational to our community at large is New Detroit.
Our work is very difficult, as most work is, but when she accepts an assignment, she accepts it and she follows through with it. The time that she spends is unbelievable, and her commitment from beginning to end is always there.
And then you have Access, who I support everything that they stand for in terms of providing a pathway for families to connect in this region to real opportunity.
One of the programs that says something about her commitment is that during Christmas time, there is a school in Dearborn that are 90% immigrants and 90% poverty. And she made sure every Christmas that every kid in that school get a toy, get a gift. And they've been doing it. Comerica, through the leadership of Linda, they've been doing it for almost 20 years now. She is a champion of diversity. She herself embodies what it means to be open, to be inclusive, to be really fully invested in communities.
Linda sees everyone as critical to the success of this community, and she has a wonderful family. You know, she's a devoted grandmother and a devoted mother. She has a wonderful husband who supports her. She has family and friends that love her very much and that I think give her strength. I think she knows, first of all, how to balance her life a little bit. And secondly, I think you know, she doesn't ever tire of doing good.
There's a poem that I really love, and it really inspires me, and it's by Oriah Mountain Dreamer, and it's called The Invitation. And this piece where in the poem where she says, I have no interest in how you got to be here or who you know. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shy back. Linda has really accepted the invitation. I believe it's an invitation to everyone to live your authentic life, to live your life with intention. And that's exactly what Linda does.
I'd like to say to the Michigan Roundtable for Diversity and Inclusion, congratulations and kudos for their many years of making differences in our communities, our companies, and to individuals, for creating a pathway for us to understand and appreciate the differences in one another.